$100 podcast. Can you believe that, Larry Porch?
No, I cannot. It's unbelievable.
But I cannot believe that we've done 100 of these, and especially two guys that are computer stupid, and to be able to pull this off. But the rewards have been fantastic. You know, I think about all the guests that we've had on, everything that we have learned from
Yeah.
other enthusiasts that goes out in the woods. And I'm just excited about our guest that's upcoming for Thursday night. And
I agree. Like I've said 100 times.
So
this show ain't successful because of me and you. It's successful because of the guests. And our guests this Thursday is going to be fantastic.
I tell you what, why don't you go ahead and tell who our guest is going to be?
We can't tell everybody. We got to make them wait.
How are we going to play the previews?
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we should tell then. It's somebody that everybody has been asking to be on the show. They wanted this gentleman on, and we recently went on an outing with him at LBL. And our guest for our 100th show is going to be Tim Coonbo Baker.
It's going to be fantastic. We had to record the show early because Coonbo is out in the field right now. And I know a lot of people have asked, where's Coonbo? What's he doing? Is he still doing this? Coonbo has never stopped. And he will have new stories to tell. And he will cover other things. And we're going to even talk about George Jones and Tammy Wynette. So it's going to be fantastic, and we would like to maybe play for you right now some little how do you say it?
Excerpts.
Thank you, Larry.
Hey, you're welcome.
From what y'all will see Thursday night. Now, this is pre-recorded, but we're going to set it up as a premiere, and we're going to be in the chat room, and y'all are going to enjoy this show. So let's go ahead and play some of these excerpts.
Look this way and didn't see anything. I looked down first and didn't see anything. I looked this way, didn't see anything. I looked this way, and there's one standing there, except it was backed up against the side of the house. Had his back up against the house, and it had his head turned looking towards me, and it was sort of looking towards me, and I don't know what I did, but I know it scared the crap out of me, and it looks at it and it goes like that. And I don't know if that's its attempt to smile at me or if it was trying to threaten me. It didn't make a single sound. So we're standing there, and I'm focused on those out on the island, and one of the guys elbowed me and goes like this. I turned around and looked up, and there's one standing on top of the levee looking down at us. And that was just about a Brown Shorts moment.
I can imagine.
Yeah. It stood there and looked at us, and we sort of walked away from the levee, about 8-10 feet, and and it turned around and just walked away. But we heard it clearly walking away. We never heard it make a sound. I never heard it make a sound as it was approaching us, coming up behind us. And that thing was close enough to me that I could tell, I could see its eyes, because the eyes show up a lot hotter than the rest of the face. And the funny thing about it, it's up there and it's leaning like, let me scoot back to the camera. It's leaning like this. So his head was on one side of the tree and his rear end was sticking out from the other side of the tree. But it thought it was behind the tree. And by this time, a bunch of the other guys were seeing it, and it sat there looking. I started laughing because I said, "That thing thinks it's hiding, and then it can't even come close to getting behind that tree. It's so big." And it straightened up, and it turned, and it just started walking back through the woods. And anyway, I had liberated a couple of beakers and the right stuff to make nitroglycerin with, and a Bure with a little valve on it that you could set to drip. So we got it all set up, and we paddled out with a canoe. We paddled out in the middle of Shoals Creek, and we put 2 of the ingredients in this beaker and the third ingredient in this Bure, and started it dripping. And this was at this time of the year, this hot part of the year, and I knew that as that stuff combined, it was at that temperature, it was unstable. I knew that it when it get to a certain volume of it, that it would blow up. So we started it dripping, and sure enough, we saw the stuff start floating up, and so we set it adrift, and we paddled back into the shore, and we're sitting there, we're waiting. There's like 3 or 4 of us there, and we're waiting, and come on, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow. And we figured it'd blow up, and it'd be like 2 or 3 M80s or something. We played. I mean, we're idiots. We used to have slingshot battles and shoot M80s and cherry bombs at each other. We steal one of our friends. His uncle smoked cigars, and he'd steal us some of his cigars. We'd light those cigars, and we'd have our cherry bombs and M80s in our pockets and a slingshot, and we'd put it there, and we'd draw back. We'd light that M80 or cherry bomb with a slingshot. And then we'd shoot it at one of our buddies hiding down in the woods or down the street. Yeah, I mean, we were idiots. We wonder we didn't kill somebody. But anyway, so we're sitting there, we're waiting, and we're watching, and the thing kept drifting down the creek, and this creek moves pretty slow, and especially this time of the year, or that time of year we hadn't had a bunch of rain, so it just slowly going in, and we're waiting. We're like, well, dadgum, maybe it doesn't work, and it eventually went out of sight. And we're sitting there, we waited, and don't hear nothing, I think, well, crap, What we do when we want to go to get? Nah, I ain't paddling all the way down to get that thing. And forget it. Somebody will see it. Their boat will turn it over, or it'll drift up, whatever. So we decided to leave. So we got this old canoe, and we picking it up. We're carrying it up the hillside. And about that time, we're way off down the creek, plumb out. I thought we heard, boom, and it just echoed all up and down. Holy crap! We couldn't believe how loud it was. We found out later on that dude went off right down there near George Jones's house.
This is going to be fantastic. And we are so excited. It ran over 2 hours. So we're going to go ahead and premiere the broadcast at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time instead of our normal 8 o'clock time. So we will see you Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Night, footers.
This has been a Sawdust production.